one of the things that takes a huge amount of time when you're trying to build your own shows for projection mapping is finding good assets, the pictures, the textures, the videos that you can use in your project. And then even when you find them, making them projection mapping friendly, prepping the files so that it can just be dragged onto your canvas and then adjusted and masked. And so I've been thinking about how to solve this problem. We've amassed over the 2 years quite a few of these assets. Don't laugh at my file organization, but over 2 years of creating projects, we have tons of images and textures and video animations. And so I've been trying to think of a good way that we could help make that more accessible. That's really the goal of this channel, is to make projection mapping more accessible to more people. And particularly if for Luxedo, Luxedo by design has simplified software. One trade-off with that is then there's less options for prepping images and textures. It's easier if you can just have something that's already projection mapping ready to just upload and then drag onto your project. So I'm trying to think about how I can make some of our assets more accessible to solve that problem for the community a little bit. And I've also invested more than I probably should have. I've spent probably $1,700 this year on software alone for getting access to assets and for prepping them. Things like the professional version of DaVinci so I could remove backgrounds, Topaz Labs to help bump up the resolution on videos and pictures. And that's going to end up probably being about $1,100 a year annually for some of the software that I have. And there are some existing solutions out there which I appreciate, like Dan Phillips. If you go to holidayprojectionmapping.com and go to their store, he's got some packs like a Christmas Vacation one, Gingerbread, that are going to be popular. Lumabox has some good stuff out there too. So it's one of the things I love about our community. We're trying to help and support each other to create cool things, create cool shows. So I was trying to think how I could make my stuff more accessible. We're working on a Stranger Things right now. Going to have some cool textures and cool effects from that. And I have tried in the past just doing this Google Drive with assets, and that's still out there if you want access to it for free. That's totally fine, but these have not been prepped yet. Things like the lantern, just removing the background so it's easy to use. But what I thought I'd try is an experiment to try to make this stuff more accessible to more people. So what I'm going to do is I've set up a Patreon account to use that as a mechanism for sharing these assets. And then that also helps us support the channel and helps us so that we can continue to do reviews on software and hardware solutions. And so what I have set up, and we'll give it a try and we'll see how it works, if it's helping the community or not. I set up a Patreon account for our YouTube channel with the typical 3 tiers. The lowest tier will only be $3 a month, trying to keep the cost low. And in that tier, you'll get access to any of the static assets, the pictures and walls. And so I'm going to be continually uploading new content in here as we're creating shows, and I'll go back through old projects too. But we already have about 100 files in here so far. So I will try to take a tile and make it and try to remove the scene and fill up a 1920 by 1080 space, and sometimes play with some of the lighting and colors just so that you can just grab one you like and put it in your project. And then we have like a selection of different windows and doors that are ready for your project. And so for $3 a month, you'd get access to all of those, and I'll continue to upload. Then on the $9 tier, you get all of that, but also video assets. We just finished our Grinch show. So some of the animations that were used in that and that I use like DaVinci to remove backgrounds for, those will be accessible as project files. We've got Pirates of the Caribbean. This one in particular is probably a good example. I couldn't find a good video from the ride because you move past the scene really quickly and the boat's moving, it's bobbing up and down while also moving forward. And so this simple animation was created from this picture. Bump up the resolution, break it up into different layers, animate different parts of it so that you can get this. And so you'll get access to things like that so that you don't have to do it. This is another one that we did. And so for $9 a month, you get access to all the video stuff that I'll continue to update. The highest tier, $25 a month, get discount on shows that we're creating and any requests. If you have a request for a picture, a texture, video effect, then in that tier, then you can make those kinds of requests. And then for those that don't want to invest anything, I'll still be uploading to this playlist some free content that you can just download. And that can also help support the channel. If you're just doing views, likes, shares, subscribes, then that's a free way that you can help the channel grow too. And so I've got some fun ones out here too, like this opening sequence with the Who walking up to the Whoville Arch. That's up there for free right now. And so I will continue to update that as well. So let's give that a try. One thing too that I'm going to try to be careful with is to not upload videos and pictures from companies like Atmos Effects. I want to make sure I'm not using their paid content and putting it up somewhere where people can get it for where they're not getting paid. So I won't be putting things like Atmos Effects, Spectral Illusions up here for free. Now, if you already own one of those videos and you want me to remove the background, like the dreaded black background on an Atmos Effects video, and you own the video and you're a Patreon subscriber, then I'm happy to remove the background for you. That won't be a big deal, but I just won't be putting those assets out here for people, so that we can make sure that companies like Atmos Effects can continue to create cool content for us. So that's it. We're going to give this a try, and if you'd like to participate, we really appreciate it. It's a great way to support the channel, and hopefully you're getting the small amount of money that it is, that you're going to get your money's worth for it and help in your projects. And I'm excited to see what everybody creates from these. One other comment too. These are not going to be kind of very polished videos and pictures like what you would buy on Hauntworks or on Atmos Effects. I'm prepping them, but want to keep it raw enough that you can use your creativity to create something for yourself. And so think of these as ingredients more than anything. A lot of them are going to be green screen, going to be kind of rough still. They're ingredients to allow you to flex your creative muscles and be able to create something that's uniquely yours. This is just helping save time in the collection of the assets and doing some of the prepping of the assets so that it's projection mapping friendly. All right, I look forward to seeing what everybody creates. Thanks.